Koala Cafe Shay.
Hello, welcome back to Koala Cafe Shay. How are you? I'm good. I'm in a really good mood today. Today's video I'm going to be speaking about my university interview experience and giving you some advice for yours. I had my interview on Monday morning. I had 2 interviews, and at Cambridge they're usually between like 20 minutes and half an hour, I think. I literally live about 45 minutes away from Cambridge by train, but just to be on the safe side I decided to stay in the college overnight from Sunday night to Monday morning. So I went Sunday and I got some dinner there, and the food was so good. I didn't expect it to taste so good because I feel like everyone always says, oh, the food at Oxford and Cambridge is just really, really bad. And like, it could have done with some pepper sauce, but that's fine, I understand that. But it actually tasted good, and I was like, ooh, I can live with this. This is good food. Oh my gosh, my room was huge. Like, it was huge. I was in chapel court. I wanted to get an early night because I am an early bird. Whoa, surprise. Have I mentioned this in a video before? Who knows? What? No. I went to my room, I got ready for bed, and then I Skyped my mum and my dad, and I spoke to them, and I was like, yeah, I feel great. I feel like I was in such a good mood. I just felt really happy and comfortable and at home. I woke up in the morning, I did some confidence yoga because my room was so huge that I had loads of space to do yoga. It was brilliant. And then I did a meditation, and then I showered, got ready, I went down for breakfast. Breakfast was so disappointing. I thought, yeah, dinner was so great last night, breakfast will be great. And you probably know, but I'm vegan, and there was literally like watermelon, and that was it. As soon as I walked into the waiting room for the interviews, I noticed there was a lot of nervous energy in that room, understandably. I was still feeling like great. I was on a positive energy high. Basically the way that they did it was a student ambassador would call someone's name, call like 2 or 3 people's name, and then walk them to their interviews if they were like near each other and at the same time. So my student ambassador was actually the YouTuber Paige White. She's a student at Jesus College, obviously, and she walked us to our interview, and there was also this girl and a guy. The guy was doing history, the girl was doing education. We went into our interviews. This was the interview that I struggled on a lot because I feel like in this one I was too energetic. Like, I don't think my mind was like academic level enough, and I was just like, and I kind of just blabbered a lot, and I don't think I used enough information, like wider reading. And I came out and I was like, yeah, that was great. And then I walked halfway and I was like, that was not so great. So I was going to go back to the waiting room and get my stuff. I met the girl who had had her education interview, and I was like, oh hey, how did yours go? And she was like, oh okay, it was alright. And then we decided to go to Jesus College Cafe together. Such a cute cafe. We ended up meeting up with the guy who went to his history interview as well, and we were like, oh hey, what are the chances that we all went together to our interview, and we met afterwards in the same place. So we sat together talking about interviews, and we had like an hour break then. I just realised that I'm speaking so fast, I'm really sorry. And then I went to my second interview. This time I walked to it by myself with a student ambassador. I went into their tutor's office. Oh my gosh, there were so many books. It was beautiful. Like books on the walls, books on the floor, books everywhere. Like everywhere you could see there was books, and I was like, this is so beautiful. I was like, if I don't get in, I'm just happy that I've seen all of this. Oh yeah, I had to do a little read an article before that one. I'm not allowed to say like anything about what it was in it because I signed an agreement. Yeah, so it was a topic that I was comfortable on, let's just say. So we started talking about my EPQ, which I mentioned in my personal statement, and I thought this interview went a lot better. This interview was a lot more like the podcast that I had listened to. I felt more like I was having an academic conversation rather than being interrogated. That was really, really lovely, and I came out thinking, oh yeah, that was great. Then I realised I left my article in my hand, and you weren't supposed to take the article away. So I ran upstairs and I put it by the door, and I said, I'm really sorry, I accidentally picked this up. Hope it's okay. And then like, bye. And then I just left. And yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna be like, did she take the article away with her? I was just really overthinking it. And then I went to have lunch The lunch was, I can't remember what it was. It was curry, I think. I think that was good. I can't remember. It was a while ago. It was like 2 months ago now. You know how you hear those really weird Oxbridge interview questions like, tell me about a banana. And you're like, how would someone ask you that? That's so awful. Yeah, I didn't get any of that. The toughest question I got was asking about Nelson Mandela, and because I am not too familiar on Nelson Mandela's work, I was like, oh, I don't really know, and it was fine. Like, I kept overthinking that afterwards, and I was like, oh gosh, she's gonna think I'm a fake black person because I don't know everything that Nelson Mandela did. I was like, I really don't know, I'm sorry. And then she just explained it a little bit more, and then I used the information she told me to give a different answer. Weeks before to have some practice interviews. So I'm really fortunate. I was accepted onto the Target Oxbridge program, and I got given a mentor, and we also got put in touch with this company called Oxfizz, and they gave us subject specific interview practice. So that was really amazing, and I would suggest if you're in year 12 and you're thinking about Oxbridge to apply for mentorship schemes and programs that will help you with things like this, because they often do offer free interview practice beforehand. So that was like the most help basically. And with my mentor I had weekly conversations about different current affairs topics. So I would choose an article that I found interesting each week. Most of the time it was from The Guardian because that's my favourite newspaper, and we just discussed it for like an hour and a half. Even if you don't have a mentor or something, maybe you could find friends or something that want to do a similar topic to you, and then each week pick an article, you all read it, and then you all discuss the article, you discuss ideas around it. And honestly, that was the best thing that helped me for my confidence in the actual interview. Or alternatively, I also went to my sociology teacher because I knew that obviously I might be studying sociology in Cambridge. I went to my sociology teacher and asked if I could have a practice interview with him, and literally just one, I think it was lunchtime, no, it was a free period. I just went into his classroom and I basically had a practice interview. That lasted about an hour, even though they're usually like 25 minutes, but it was good to have that practice question. And actually, like, 2 of the questions that he asked me in that practice interview actually came up in the real thing. And I remember in the real thing when they came up, I literally smiled and I was like, oh, I've already answered this question, that's great. I didn't actually say that out loud, I said it in my head. In terms of when you're actually in the interview, I would suggest dress in something that you feel confident and comfortable in. So I wore my favourite blue jumpsuit with a black turtleneck because it was December, so it was cold, so like I still had to be practical, but that is the outfit that I feel most confident in. I was just like, yeah, I feel good, I feel confident, I feel powerful, but also I like wearing it, it's comfortable. Equally, it's important to try and be yourself, and I know literally they always say this, but what I kept thinking was these professors are literally choosing who they get to teach. Like, they get to meet you and think, I like your personality, I want to teach you, or I don't like your personality, I don't want to teach you. So if you be yourself, then it's a more accurate reflection. You decide how the interview goes, essentially. So even though you are being asked questions, you're able to just lead the conversation however you want. I basically led it into an area which I wanted to talk about, and that prompted another question which probably wasn't written down on the paper before. I don't know if it was, but it prompted a different question which I could then answer, rather than them asking a question, me answering it, that's it. I led it to where I wanted it to go. Obviously don't just bring up something really random, but like if there's something that is very similar and you're comfortable on that topic, maybe just suggest, oh, I am also very interested in blah 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 blah. Give examples, and this can be anecdotes or they can be like further reading and research that you've done. This one's a really important one, and I don't think it's stressed enough. If you don't understand something, or if you don't know something, it is okay to say it, because they're not expecting you to come into the interview literally knowing everything. In fact, it'd be really weird if you came into the interview like knowing everything. I found it really good to meet other applicants, be nice and friendly to everyone that you're seeing, and to swap contact details as well. I love a little bit of networking, so I was swapping contact details left, right and fro, left, Yes, English. Also afterwards then you can keep in contact with these people and find out how they did. So funnily enough, this is so cool. I actually love this fact. So the two people that I mentioned earlier that I walked to my interview with, I had like coffee and stuff together after our interviews. Both of them actually got offers from Cambridge as well, so I'll be seeing them there, hopefully, if we all get the grades. I hope that was entertaining. I really actually enjoyed thinking about it because I kind of ignored my interview for a bit, but it was fun, and I hope the tips have been useful. If you have any interviews, good luck. If you've already had an interview, congratulations, well done. I wish you the best of luck in finding out your results, and I think that is it. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye! Actually, oh, the crane's back! No! If you've seen my mid-year motivation video, I'm filming this like 20 minutes after I filmed that one, and there's a crane outside and I don't know why! It's making loads of noise.